Alright, I was able to go to my first Tengu Format tournament over Memorial Day weekend. Had a little more time, so I was able to, enter a Tengu event, and it was cool. I got top 4. I believe based on who I played in top that I got 4th after Swiss as well. So this is the Wendy's 4x4 Mystic Piper Chaos deck profile for Tengu Format. First off, of course, 3 Piper. This is the engine of the deck. You tribute it to draw a card. If it is a 1-star, you draw an additional card. 2 Kinkabayo. I've seen people run as few as 1 of these, and I think you need at least 2. I had 3 in my original build. I honestly did somewhat struggle to see it, but yeah, so you can bring back a 1-star every turn with Kinkabayo, and it's a spirit, so it bounces back to your own hand. So you can do it every turn, so you just recycle this loop and you draw 1 to 2 cards every turn. So people think that this clogs, but it's honestly not that big of a deal if Kinkabayo starts clogging when you have like 8 cards in your hand, basically. Like, okay, whatever is going to start clogging at that point, you know? So that's my thoughts on Kinkabayo. 2 or 3, definitely not 1, basically. And then the other 1-stars that we run, DD Crow. I ran 1 of this. I don't know the format that well, so I don't know if this should be upped, but this deck is definitely like a techie deck where you can choose the ratios. So also, I guess, like, I did play Mystic Piper back in the day in several formats, so in addition to topping this event, I guess I have some experience with the deck, so some authority to speak on it or whatever. Crow, obviously good in various formats or whatever. I don't know how good it is in Tengu. It seemed to put in work, and I might have actually wanted more Crow. 3 Veiler, this was awesome. It's part of why Piper is even decent. It's a 1-star tuner. You can sync with Gores. Monster Reborn is in the format. Yeah, it's a light. The effect, obviously, is good. 2 Cyber Valley. I don't know if I want more of this. Definitely not less, though. 2 was good. This is also sort of engine. You can draw cards. If you don't see the Piper, you can do Cyber Valley and Battle Faders and like all sorts of stuff, basically. Mind Control, their thing, Cyber Valley it away. That's pretty decent as well, especially if it's like a Recruiter, whether literally Grave Creeper's Recruiter or otherwise, or like a Tengu. Not as good, I guess, against Tengu, but yeah. 3 Battle Fader. This stops whatever. Yeah, they can Solemn Warning it, but are they gonna Solemn Warning a Battle Fader? If they do, that's one of their warnings. 2 Tragodia. I didn't get to drop a giant Trag on anyone, really, but the idea of this is, yeah, it's just Tragodia in general. It's good. Mind Control is one of the best cards in the format, so obviously this is sort of additional copies. But the deck, like I alluded to earlier, sometimes you'll have like 8 cards in your hand, so Trag gets huge and you can just swing over stuff. Gore's obviously good, even better in Tengu than it is in Edison because of the prevalence of 1-star tuners. 1 Treeborn. I was using this to do just various things with, to be an additional body on board and stuff, but this was sort of there just to confuse my opponents on like, okay, what am I doing? But I even would just banish this with Cyber Valley and not feel too bad about it. Or Treeborn, sync with a 1-star, make a formula, draw into whatever. Because a lot of the times you're using your normal summon just to draw cards in the deck, and then you just derp out chaos monsters, basically. Glow Up Bulb. This card was amazing in this deck. I actually won a match because I used Black Rose's second effect with Glow Up, but also just in general, Glow Up was awesome. Like I said, 1-star tuners are great in this format. It works with Piper, really awesome card. Plague. This is a card that I don't see a lot of people running in their Piper deck. It's not a 1-star, obviously, but honestly, it has really good synergy. And like, I'm not kidding when I say that you have 8 cards in your hand so frequently, or at least 7 cards in your hand so frequently, that like, it's actually a reliable way to discard cards just to like have 7+ cards in the end phase and discard Treeborn, Plague, or Glow Up. So like, you don't run any traditional discard outlets for Plague, but I promise it's not bad. And the deck runs 3 Chaos Sorcerer and 3 Caius, so like, you can make 8 stars. 3 Tour Guide, and a Sangan. This can get you whatever, and also you can go into the 3 stars that exist in the format. But really with Cyber Valley, you can do pretty cool plays with Leviair, basically. You can Leviair back whatever, Cyber Valley. Yeah. Dark Armed, obviously Dark Arm's still pretty decent even in this format. BLS, the best of the Chaos monsters. I said I ran 3 Caius. I only run 2 Caius, I guess, in the build in the end. Just because, like I said, a lot of the times your normal summon is eaten up by, like, trying to draw cards. If you do, I mean, Caius is still pretty good in the format, though. 3 Chaos Sorcerer. This is basically the win condition of the deck, or even just the main function of the deck. Chaos Sorcerer, banish whatever. So yeah, on to the spells. We got Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy. The deck runs 1 creature swap. Obviously, this is another thing you can do with Treeborn in attack position, or Battle Faders or whatever. Just creature swap. You can creature swap your Kinkabio is another play you can do, and then you keep the monster, and the Kinkabio still bounces back to your hand. Mind Control, basically the best spell in the format. It's an amazing answer to, like, everything. Foolish, put whatever in grave. Also, it's an easy side out. Allure, just even more consistency. 1 for 1. I often go straight for Piper with this. Kinkabio as a spirit monster cannot be special summoned, so that is one downside to it. And then the only trap card that I was running was Return from a Different Dimension. I'm not sure how good this card is in the format. There was one time I resolved it, and I probably should have won the game off of it. I definitely misplayed and handled the situation pretty badly. My opponent had a face-up Neos Alias, and I had the ingredients, you could say, I guess, to make a Catastor on the board, and I just attacked with a Caius instead, or something, basically, that got honested. And yeah, I could have just made the Catastor, played around that, but I was trying to attack for like 200 more damage or something. So the one time I did resolve this, it was amazing. And in theory, this should be really good. You have a bunch of Chaos monsters, and you can set up crazy return plays. I guess I'll do the extra deck next. I did still run 1 Chimera Tech. As you'll see, the first 4 monsters in my extra deck are machines, so if my opponent was to leave any of those monsters on the board, you could still Chimera Tech them with those. But also, gadgets are decent in the format, and extra deck space really just isn't that tight in Hyper Chaos anyway. Formula. This obviously kind of is something that you go into a lot in this deck. It's a light monster, which is awesome. It can get you a light engrave, but also you draw an additional card. And there's also just the ingredients to make Formula pretty frequently in the deck. Also, you can sync with a Chaos Sorcerer, go into an 8-star, pretty decent. Armory Arm. I think I did make Armory Arm at least once. Once again, it's a light. Catastor, a card I should have made, like I said. Catastor, pretty decent in the format at attacking into whatever to deal with problem cards. Phreonic, still a really great card, gets banned after this format. Ancient Fairy, even better in this format than a lot of others because it has the field spell pop effect, and that is actually relevant. Black Rose, like I said, this won me a game and therefore a match by using the second effect to banish Glow Up from grave. So Black Rose is another card that's like even better in this format than usual. Stardust, I did make in a game that I won against Tengu Plants. I made the Stardust by doing whatever and then reborning their Gores and then making a Stardust basically just for even extra protection, basically. Dark End. This basically, because you run the Caiuses and the Sorks, it's just even additional removal. Colossal Fighter for whatever. You do still Colossal Fighter for whatever. You do still run Armory Arm. I'm not even positive if that OTK still is like legal in the format, or if they decided that was stupid and just errated it or like fixed it or whatever. Scrap Dragon, awesome card, really great 8-star. Leviair, really, really cool Xyz monster in general. It's cool that it's in the format. Leviathan, this is kind of what you go for generically if you don't have a play and you turn 1 tour guide, I guess. Utopia, it's a 4-star, rank 4, and then Trish. I don't have a super great way to make this in the deck, but honestly, I guess you kind of do any 6-star, any 2-star tuner, so Plague or Formula, and then any 1-star, so basically like Treeborn or something, or Piper. And then finally, the side deck. I was looking at the build from Gabe from Team SDC, who topped with the deck in like a format after this, actually, so an even faster format, you know. And part of why the deck did so well for him was, one, it was just his day or whatever, hometown hero, he did well. But also, he had a very well-prepared side deck that kind of addressed like everything in the format. So that was sort of what I tried to do here. 2 Thunder King, it's good against whatever. 2 Max C, it's good against whatever. Crow, 1 additional copy, because again, I wasn't positive, just personally from inexperience, how good Crow would be. So you want probably maybe all 3 copies of Crow between the main and the side. Unknown Synchron, this card doesn't actually really do anything per se, other than you can special it like a Cyber Dragon and it's a tuner. But yeah, if you're going second, it's slight ramp basically for you. 1 actual Cyber Dragon for whatever. Burial, I figured that Burial, similar to Return, would be really good, especially if my opponent thought that they were going to be banishing my stuff. 1 additional copy of Creature Swap. I wasn't positive what like I'd be running into, you know, so I did end up siding this in actually. 1 copy of MST. So yeah, 1 copy of MST in Piper Chaos. The situation with this was that, I don't know, I was just going to try to Chad the event and not run any copies, but then I heard people talking about how important it was right before the event, so then I just like scrambled to find one and I got at least 1. I did see it at least twice and hit some back row with it, so it was pretty good. I'm not positive what I'd take out. Did I talk about, or I think, okay, so yeah, originally I was going to run 1 Mech Lord Emperor Wizel, the 2500 one that can negate a spell, and I still want to mess around with that, but I decided to just put in MST instead. 2 Debunk. I can't remember if I was able to resolve this or not, but obviously that's kind of just for whatever. 2 Warning, again also for basically whatever. And a Mirror Force. So the side deck lets you just kind of side into whatever seems decent against your opponent. So, you know, obviously there's more games 2 and 3 than game 1s and all that. So that is the Wendy's Mystic Piper deck once again. Top 4 Piper, woo. I don't know that I'll go to that many Tengu events, but yeah, thank you for watching and peace.